communicate more effectively. And so we agreed and right from the start that, you know, it'll be good for the board to hear from our manager and then get more comfortable. This year it's going to be a little choppy, but next year we'll have it down pat. So anyways, Rebecca presented her succinct 6 professional goals for the next year, and we'll go over them today with us, and anything else you want to talk to us about.
Sure, so I appreciate the opportunity. I haven't had a chance to review anything else that you've done within the scope of this process, but this is really just a reflection, and none of it should be much of a surprise. But it's a reflection and looking back on the last year and looking at us organization-wide, whether that be with the elected scope or with the staff here, to look at some things that from a process improvement standpoint, we could look forward to proceeding with the following year. So we're already in that year, so some of these things have some of the forethought and work started on the back end in November. But this is just a list of just some things that wanted to highlight for you. The first and the foremost, which is probably one of the most important for me personally and professionally, is that it's very infrequent that someone has an opportunity to report to 7 bosses.
Lucky you.
Right? So I'm one of those individuals that looks at that as an opportunity, and that's also one of the parts that I enjoy, because I enjoy being a lifelong learner. And one of the exciting points for me of working with the 7 of you is that you're all individually very talented. It's important, and this has been a past practice of myself with prior boards, is that I have an opportunity to connect with you each individually, at least on a monthly basis. Whether that's, you know, taking a walk for 10 minutes at a time that's convenient for you, a conversation over the phone. But I need those touch points with you because you each provide me with insight and views that help push me to think about things and to evaluate, you know, how we're going. Individually, none of you provide specific direction to me. It's only as a group of which you know, provide that direction. But I just, I look forward to the possibility of having this opportunity with each of you individually, and just want to let you know that I hope that you're receptive to it. High functioning boards have high levels of communication with their manager. So I want nothing for the best for this board, and I just know that this is a key ingredient. I'll be more brief on the other parts.
It's okay, take your time.
Well, no,
we take your time every day.
It's late. So I want to be respectful because everyone, you know, has different things they'd like to do. Number 2, increase collaboration among stakeholders, and that would be staff, board, committees, and the public through education and understanding of our process and procedures. So sounds like a loaded comment. Here's how it breaks down. In every organization, you need to have a level of predictability in terms of how we're going to roll into processes each year. Coming on board here and over the course of the last year, it is a consistent theme where people are desiring to have a general framework that we're working within. We've tried to, you know, introduce us to various processes of working with this new board. I think we can all agree that there are parts that have worked and parts that need to be improved on. My goal is to focus on those parts that are working and improve upon them. So often we think about the things going wrong. The board's had a significant amount of growth, and you're doing a lot of things that are well. I want to seek to improve upon those by providing more of a framework to have a discussion. Now with this number 2, you need to be cognizant that you drive a lot of that discussion. So your decisions on those policies and how you work together as a group, I don't necessarily control. But I do want to continue to assist and lean into that framework so that we do provide some predictability for everyone who we work with. Elected, boards, committees, and the like. Number 3, build some synergy. Who doesn't like a little synergy? So the cliff notes on this is that in the past and from observing the organization, we've worked a lot in silos for a various number of reasons that I validate and understand. Moving forward, I'd like to have a bit more synergy, and we've started on this already individually amongst the staff with the work plans. I was not our staff's favorite person when I wanted to suggest work plans and ask for them to do it. I think each of them will say to you that that was initially not necessarily well received. On the back end has been really helpful to not only for them, I mean, in Barton probably tested that to remind me about where their stuff was slotted in, because it's hard to keep kind of the flow of the organization going, but to have some sheet of music that we can have visible and present, and that's also transparent and provided to you quarterly. So you're going to be seeing that upcoming again with Q1. Number 4, this is to also do quarterly financial reviews with the department heads and key staff members, with the finance director and the village manager. This has not been a practice that we've done internally before. It's one that over the course of the last year, it's been very reticent on my mind, because I feel that the connection point is necessary, and it's a building block just to create better understanding internally, but also, more importantly, once you get into a routine, be more proactive on the front end in terms of our approach. It also incorporates some of the requests from the board to also look out after every quarter as to where we're heading in a budgetary cycle. Last year, it was just striking to me how a lot of emphasis was put in a very compressed time period of the budget, when really you're working incrementally on it all year. So the things that we're talking about through that cycle should never be a surprise, but more leading into the decision-making fold of how you're going to execute for the following year. Number 5, which is reticent in our mind, especially this evening, is the renovation of station number 83. While North Shore Fire Department is going to be hiring the architect and officially designing the station, I recognize that the benefit of me in this process is I come to the table with a lot of fire station experience, specifically in the design and rehab of them, not of 100-year-old buildings, but just fire technology in general. But in this, I think we're going to need a very high level of understanding with the organization at the table as they go through the design. So I look forward to partaking in that aspect as well. On the back end are 2 items which have been, at my request, waiting for review in this year, just because they are major services of vendors we have provided services to us. One is completing RFPs for financial advisory services, of which we've started this evening, reviewing that with the Budget and Finance Standing Committee, and you can look forward to seeing that on the next agenda on March 18th. And then once that is off the ground, going back and starting the RFP process for legal services, of which are provided through multiple different vendors. One, municipal attorney, who provides operation report. We also have separate personnel legal counsel and development counsel through the CDA via a separate agreement. So I'll also be asking for the CDA to partner on the RFP request for measures of efficiency as we move forward. So that, I apologize if I'm talking about it as if it sounds really routine. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Again, in putting this together and acknowledging that the review process is new for this group, I wanted to share some of my thoughts with you, and I look forward to working through the process of that with you.
And just a reminder, we're not here to give feedback on anything, just if you have any questions for clarification, we'll provide that all after we've done our evaluation, and we'll react to your professional goals. And also, Rebecca, you had mentioned prior that you wanted more touch points with the whole board. Is there anything beyond your review that you want to suggest?
For touch points with the whole board and the scope of your business meetings here?
I don't know. I just know that you wanted more touch points. Is it individually, or is once a year just addressing us?
So I welcome the opportunity more than once a year, because I'm just a big believer. I look at dialogue, and nothing should be a surprise with your performance evaluation. So if something is, it's a sign that perhaps there should be more communication throughout the year and addressed with the group as well overall. So if that is the case with this group, I'm gonna strongly encourage it. Because there are very few opportunities that I do have an ability to have that conversation with all 7 of you. Moving forward, I also have to share that I'm a fan of taking smaller steps, particularly what I think with this group, which is also important. So if I can just at least get to a comfort level with the 7 of you, that I'm going to communicate with you at least on a monthly basis, on some one-on-one basis, that would be a huge step. Because I also want you to know that that communication is happening and that it's an agreed norm and expectation. So I don't want anyone to feel as if they're left out or haven't been communicated to. I want it to be a normal course of how we operate. So I guess I'm a fan of starting small, and I'd love to grow into greater efforts. So I definitely up for that idea. But I just recognize that with our group, I've noticed that it's better to start with some smaller steps. So looking to grow with you.
Does anybody have any questions for Rebecca? Nope, we know you very well.
Thank you.
But thank you.
They're very, very comprehensive.
What's my sign? I'm an Aries.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
Are you?
I am.
So am I. We should be not getting along. Just joking. All right.
So, if you have any questions following, let me know.
Sounds great, thank you. Does anyone want to read the motion to go into closed session?
Well, you have items for future
Well-
consideration.
Oh, any items for future consideration? Is that on there? I'm sorry.
Just in case somebody has something.
Seeing none?
Okay.
Okay, so I see trustee Bachhorst looking at the clock.
Well, I know this is gonna be a long discussion, so I was wondering if we could take a quick break.
Do we want to take a quick break? Do that? Okay, and we all want to move forward and not to forget, correct?
What?
I'm just checking we want to.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break and be back by 10:25-ish. And I got chocolate over here if anyone wants some.
Oh,
Now that
now
I feel you can have some.